What's up, everybody? And we are talking that new Westside Gun, Sincerely Adolf, Hitler wears, Hermes, part 8, and this is part 8 in the series. And it's been a busy week, busy week in hip hop. You got Kanye doing Donda in Chicago. You got Wu-Tang affiliates, I don't even like saying affiliates, being dissed by Nori and Mickey Fax and DJ F. And you got Baby Keem and Kendrick dropping Family Ties. You got Drake dropping Certified Lover Boy teaser on Sports Center. And you got Westside Gun dropping his album Part 8, Side A. He got JADAKISS on the album, Lil Wayne on the album, Benny, Conway, Stove God Crooks, Rome Streets, MACH, HAMMY. So Bodie James. No major producers, at least on this side A. Expecting a primo joint maybe on side B. Before we get started with the review, we're in the review. We're in it. He's like, this project feels very, people gonna kill me, only built for Cuban Links like, or Iron Man. If you're a Wu fan, then you know what I'm talking about. Where Capadonna on Iron Man was he was very memorable, had a lot of memorable verses, or he on both, on Only Built, and he probably had the most memorable verse, like Ice Cream. Yeah. Anyways, Capadonna is very underrated. So I say that because the way Westside puts joints together, it wasn't on Supreme Blientele, but I think recently, with just all the love he's given to all the upstate New York cats, all the New York cats, I just love this new era of New York music. It just feels very New York. It's a very New York album. And when I say New York, not just the city, just upstate in general. Just, you gotta start respecting the state, not just the city. Syracuse, Buffalo, Rochester, just, you know, Albany, just the whole upstate. My family's from New York, mom's from Rome, grandfather's from Albany. So just much respect to New York State as a whole. He curates projects like no other, and this project is no tracks that are skippable at all. This is Stove God Crooks' coming out party. He has his debut album last year. He's on 5 songs out of 13. That's almost 40% of the album he's on. The hooks, the verses. There's times where you almost felt it was a Stove God Crooks album and not a Westside Gun album. Westside let Stove God cook on this project. Stove God just had so many memorable verses. So very dope. Stove God Crooks is the star of this album. That's the takeaway. But not to take away from Westside Gun, who I think, when you think about it, he on this album, his style, his lingo, very Ghostface like, and just that it's an aura about him, even more than what he's actually saying. It's just him. He brings a lot to the table. And before Benny's last project last summer, and Conway's From a King to a God, where I think they had 2 of the best projects of the year, in my opinion, Westside puts projects together better than all of them, even though Benny and Conway are better MCs, I feel, and a lot of people feel. But this project, it solidifies him as just a curator of music. He has a great ear for beats. The beats fit perfectly. There's no Alchemist, no Derringer on this. Some Beat Conductor and a couple other producers I've never heard of. Everything fits perfect. I mean, look, Lil Wayne probably had his dopest verse I've heard from him in a long time. Lil Wayne killed his song. Stove God Crooks did his thing. JADAKISS did his thing. Rome Streets did his thing. Bodie had a couple verses on here. Mac HAMMY had one. And then when I say it's like Wu-Tang, like only built for Cuban links, like you do, you know, if you're a Wu fan from the 90s, mid 90s, and those albums, you would get the Ghostface multiple verses and Capadonna and the Raekwons, and the Master Killers and the Inspector Deck verses. You would get those, and that's what this album and a few of his projects sound like. More than Conway or more than Benny, WESTSIDE has always a lot of features. And I don't know if it's because he only gives you one verse, and he wants to highlight everybody else around him, but he does it great. Stove God Crooks, and I'm all over the place. Stove God Crooks verse on Westheimer, it sounds German, is ridiculous. He spins out like Barry Sanders. Just listen to that, man. That is probably my favorite verse on the album. That and Lil Wayne's verse and Jadakiss's verse. That's ridiculous. I think I was telling my boy WESTSIDE is like Dr. Dre without himself making the beats. I think this project, when you listen to it from 1 to 13, it starts really at 3 to 13, and it's 40 minutes long, and it is really synced well. And I was talking to somebody the other day about back in the day, people used to drop 18-track albums, 19-track albums, 80 minutes, and going back, you would skip maybe 4 or 5 of those songs, and the other songs would be great, like for great albums. And I think I prefer a 12, 13 song album with 45 to 50 minutes, and I don't skip anything. And he put me on a journey through his talk. Like when WESTSIDE is rapping and he's putting these projects together, like this project, I feel like I'm in east side of Buffalo. I feel like I'm part of his crew. He paints pictures very well. On this project, that's what he does. On all the projects, he paints pictures and verses very well. You listen to Benny for bars, you listen to Conway for bars. I listen to WESTSIDE for his vivid description of things and the time he takes to describe things, from what he's wearing, from what he's doing, just if he's talking on the song and not even rapping. He paints pictures. He's in that realm of just vivid tales. If you go back to 80s and you have KRS-One and Rakim and G-Rap and LL and Big Daddy Kane, then there was Slick Rick, and Slick Rick was not the lyrical MC as any of them, but he painted pictures just as good as all of them. That's what WESTSIDE reminds me of. He's not Benny. He's not Conway. He's not Kendrick. He's not Royce. He's not Lupe. He's not Ransom. But, and I can go on and on about lyrical MCs, but he paints pictures so well. And this project, and when he talks about being a curator and he talks about art a lot, this project makes you remember that he's an artsy guy. Yeah, for him to do the things on this project, he put Clue on the project, DJ Clue. Very DJ Clue-ish. He raps, then he talks shit for about 3 minutes. Then what Conway comes on and Benny comes on. Like, he does out of the ordinary things, not your ordinary things on that you're supposed to do. 16 hook, 16 hook, 16 hook, bridge. He does what he wants to do. And when I was saying about New York rap, I'm a fan of New York rap. And sorry guys, you're hearing my phone go off. He New York rap from either 90s and the G-Unit, D-Block, Dipset era has always been in, actually real clicky. Wu-Tang and Boot Camp and the whole Queensbridge Mobb Deep era. And I'm really getting that from this. Jersey, you got Ransom, and he's one of my favorites, dropping a lot of projects lately. If you want to go to RJ Payne, even like in Philadelphia, the whole, you know, if you want to go all the way to the East Coast, because he's super raw. And then you got Rome Streets, and then you got, you know, Crime Apple, you got the whole Griselda camp, you got what they doing in Syracuse, you got Stone of God, you got what they doing in Buffalo, you still got the Locks bubbling, and Nas just dropped the album, right? And then you got like the Brooklyn drill. New York is in a real good space, and I think you know, because it's the mecca of hip hop, it does feel good when New York is winning. Just like I always wish the Knicks win, just because it makes Knicks and the Bulls, because it makes basketball more interesting. It's always good when New York is doing good at hip hop. And so let me get back on Westside. This project is one of my favorites of the year, bar none. I think everybody would enjoy it if you're a Griselda or a gritty hip hop fan. I think Westside, this project is one of his best. I would say in his top 5. He has so many projects, but I would say in his top 5, maybe. And we gotta listen to side B. Maybe in his top 3. Supreme Blind Tail for me is his best work, but this is different. This is it just feels different. It feels like you're only built for Cuban Links, Iron Man, those type of joints where he's letting others get off, and he's not the star of the show, but he put the show together. And that's how I can describe this album. He's not the star of the show, but he put the show together. He's the coach of the show. He's running the offense and letting everybody do their thing. And in the end, the people who know give it up for him. So Westside, dope project, or one part of the project. I'll be reviewing side B whenever he drops it. Until then, next time, you guys take care. Peace and love. 100, I'm out.